Photography is my great hobby for a long time, and I want to share with you some basics of editing photos. And today, we will use for it the free Mac Photos app. A lot of people use this Photos app to only store their photos, but there is also a good set of editing tools inside of the app that some people don't even know about. Once I open it, you will see that I already have many edited photos here. So let's scroll all the way down and drag few new ones to the gallery. Now to edit in photos, all you need to do is to go to the individual photo you want, like this one, and then click the edit button here at the upper right. Once you are in there, you will see all the different editing tools. Start at the top, here is Adjust, Filters and Crop. I always start with a crop. To crop a photo you can grab any corner and drag it inward to crop. If you release and wait, then the photo will readjust. The portion that you just cropped isn't gone. At any time I can simply reset the cropping and start again. Now in addition to doing that, you can also rotate here using this little dial. Just click and drag up and down here to rotate. So let me get this line straight, so it's perfect. Now on the right side, you will find some controls. If you don't want to stick with the basic original ratio, you can switch to another one. For example, you can go to square, 16:9, 4:3 or custom, where you can enter your own numbers. I usually like to switch to original to keep the proportions. It's better to always have the same ratio if you are printing the photos. One more thing you can also do is to keep this ratio, but switch to a vertical look instead of horizontal. Now when you are happy with the crop, go to Adjust. Here you have a bunch of controls here on the right. Each one of them has a little auto button. So if I want to adjust the light, I can click here and it will look at the photo and try to make adjustments automatically. Once you've made any adjustments to any of these, you will see a check mark next to it. I can click that to uncheck it and go back to original. I can also hit this undo button here to revert back to the original settings. Now if you want to adjust everything at once, you have this button here on top. This will auto enhance everything. You can see in this case it changes the light and the color. But you can go more in details and adjust it yourself, because each one of these expands when you click the reveal triangle. So I can expand light here and get a little line so I can drag it back and forth to adjust the light. Anytime you want to revert back to the center position, just double click it and it automatically goes to the middle. Also some of these you can expand even further under options. Now it shows me all of the different settings to play with. I like to adjust the highlights and the shadows to make the picture look more real. Editing photos have some basics, but a lot of time it's just about trying. So try different sliders to see what is working well and what it isn't working in this picture. Anytime you are making these adjustments, you can always click this button here on top and hold it to see the original. When you release it, you will see the image with all the changes that you have made. You can also revert to original at any time. Editing in the Photos app doesn't mess up with your photo. You can use the revert to original button anytime, even days after. Many apps fix the edits once you finish the editing, but here I can really press done in a week, come back to edit it again, and it will still offer me to revert to original. Now let's look at adjusting color. I like these morning colors on this picture. Let's try to make it stand out even more. First I will do quick edits in light, move highlights, give it a little bit more contrast and blacks. Now I can go to colors and expand it. What I can do here is to adjust saturation, contrast and cast on my own. Or I can click the auto button to make automatic adjustments for those. Unfortunately, it doesn't offer here to edit each color separately, like you would see in the professional editing programs. Noise reduction is another useful tool. If you zoom in here, we can see a little bit of noise in the photo. If you take pictures with your phone, it will be a lot worse than this. But now, watch what happens if you use noise reduction. You can see it smoothens things a little bit. so basically it blurs out some of these imperfections. Quite useful for night photos. Now you have probably noticed one more tab here, called filters. There is a small set of filters that you can use, so you can choose for example vivid, warm, cool, dramatic, and several different grayscale options. Honestly, I have never used it, but maybe it will fit your photo. Let's move to another picture, because there is another way how I can correct the lighting for an entire photo with just one click. First let me fix the crop quickly. And now we can use white balance to change the look of the photo. As usual, you can use the auto adjustments here and see if it makes any difference. White balance is often used to make the skin look more natural, and Apple has special settings for it as well, because here you can also select skin tone. It's not particularly helpful in my photo here, so I will click on the eyedropper tool instead, and I can select some white patches on the picture to select the white balance point. And then I can use the slider to adjust the warmth. I think it's fine like this. And at the end, you can go more in details and use Retouch to get rid of some spots, dots, misperfections over the photo. On this picture I noticed a bird flying here, and I can use this feature to remove it. It helps to zoom in. You can use this control up here, or use the classic zooming gesture by spreading 2 fingers on the touchpad. So zoom to a portion of the photo where there is something to remove. Then you can adjust the size of the circle for correcting, and then move there and drag over it like that. You can see how it removes it. It's not Photoshop, but it still works well. So these are really the basics. If you want to get good at editing, you need to practice, because you can always revert to a photo back to its original. There is no worry to play around with all of these settings. If you would like to get more tips about editing photos, leave me a like on this video so I know that you are really interested in this topic, and I can make more detailed videos about it. It was great having you here all the way to the end, and I'll be happy to see you in the next video.